Hello guys, I hope you're all doing well. Coming at you with the next section of my first novel in my series, Black and White Odyssey of Eden. The next excerpt. So, let's get to this. Though it was a column of light, it appeared solid, as if it had mass, with a light blue faded outline surrounding it. Kneeling behind the oval, he delicately spun the back of the cylinder with his thumb and index finger, causing the column of light to expand into a cone. It retained its solid appearance, completely white and opaque. It remained a cone for no more than 2 seconds, then shut off. The air through which it had traveled appeared superheated, turned bright blue, then became completely opaque itself. A buzzing sound saturated its mass, as it rapidly returned to its original translucent, colorless form. He knew he bought himself no more than a few seconds. He picked up the glass-like oval, pressed a button on it, and the oval disappeared. With both cylinders in hand, he sprinted as fast as his legs would carry him, giving no credence to his newly mangled right calf. The bone had fractured, but he felt nothing. Adrenaline pumping through his veins, and passion through his heart. He was a mere 3 feet from the entrance, and could feel the breeze of the ship's atmosphere flowing on his face, as the ship hovered at eye level above the ground. He reached out, sprinting with his last ounce of strength, but his arm was forced to the ground. The dust had once more started to flow. The pain was piercing, coursing over every surface, slowly eating away his clothing, his skin, his bone, his muscle. He reached for the cylinder containing the glass-like oval, which itself was beginning to be eaten away. He fumbled in pain, nearly dropping it on the ground, pushing the invisible button. The cracked oval appeared. He placed it over his head, grasped it with his other hand, placing the other cylinder once more in his mouth, and started it once again. A column of superheated air appeared over him, with the same booming sound as before, causing the edifice to crumble a little more. The crack upon the oval grew larger, and now the particles were beginning to eat it away as well. He stared up into the sky in despair. He was so close. He had almost made it inside. If only he could somehow find out how to stop this. As tears continued to pour from his eyes, he fell to his knees, barely able to hold his paltry shield up over his head, the weight of its energy and his waning strength suffocating him. The dust seeped in, as the oval was only guarding the sky. Any slight breeze would cause the particles to fall upon him. He would not give up. It simply was not an option. And despite everything, the thought of doing so was distant in his mind. He had to find something. In a final, desperate attempt to transmute the tragedy, he fumbled for the other cylinder and attached it to the back of the cylinder producing the oval. The oval then collapsed as the cylinders turned into a torus. He was now taking the full brunt of the dust, his body disintegrating before him. His hand shaking as his knuckles began to be exposed, he placed both hands on what seemed to be hand grips that had appeared on the torus and twisted them. Everything fell silent, the dust frozen in place. The torus was suspended a few feet above the ground, spinning at several thousand revolutions per minute in mid-air. There has to be some way. His destroyed hands fell to the ground as he sat on his knees, head down in hopelessness. He looked up. The pale green shield the pylon was producing in the distance was fracturing, but time had stopped. It would be only moments before it collapsed, leaving all those within it defenseless. While the rest of them were either crying out in terror were laying on the ground in agony. A woman in tattered gray dress and meek from malnutrition, or malnourishment, was standing, reaching for him. His eyes locked with hers. And I'll leave it there, and I will continue in the next one. Love y'all. Peace.